Do my intro. What's What's up, yo? This is Nekoroth, and welcome back to the letter. Here's Kieran next to me.
Hi, everybody. I just want to hear. Hi, everybody. It's Nekoroth.
I'm probably gonna keep that in. Just there you go. Have that.
Professionalism.
But yeah, wow. It's been quite a while, hasn't it?
I think we're just overly happy to be back in the terrifying land of Luxborn.
Definitely. But yeah, where we left off, I guess one of the best things we can do to have a full recap is to obviously look back at our entries, and we obviously have a good few here. We've read this before, I'm sure. I'm positive.
I think we have, because I'm sure I can remember making fun of the career day poster.
Yeah, I'm positive. Oh, this is new. Oh, look at wee Kylie.
Oh, apparently she was enjoying herself after all.
She was there the entire time. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, we did redo our choice. We did get a little bit mad at Luke, and he retaliated in a really nasty way. But we turned it around, so Becca got upset and Luke panicked.
Making a woman angry, that's funny to him. Making a woman sad is for some reason crossing the line.
Yeah, so we went in that route, so our relationship with him went up a tad. But will I let you read this?
Thursday, October 27th. Luke and Kylie visited Rebecca for dinner as she was about to leave. She invited him to dinner, not whatever the hell I said. Despite receiving a text message from Ashton, Rebecca agreed, and the three spent the evening at a nearby coffee house. Upon returning to her flat, she found a note that Ashton left her.
Oh yeah,
and it had an adorable little winky face at the end.
The little twinkles and shit. Oh look. Oh, this is new. Okay, so this is Isabella and Ashton's domestic outside of our house, and then she came out like, who the fuck is screaming outside my house?
Friday, October 28th. Isabella and Ashton arrived at Salemwell, having an argument about the missing employee's investigation. Annoyed by the noise, Rebecca interfered and, in the end, asked Ashton to keep an open mind.
Oh yeah. Can we talk about how we're being graced by Marianne's gorgeous face here?
I like how the fact those two, it looks like those two are having an argument, and she's like, oh look at that, a pair of arseholes having an argument.
She's in I can't speak today. She's in bewilderment is what I tried to say there. Is there any more entries? Probably not. Oh, look at that. It's Lorraine. I don't think there is anything else new. No, we've read everything. So I guess we should just continue. Do you want to start? Or
I'll start if you want.
It's up to you.
Wright's a bit yawn. Wright's about to start. Oh hey look, it's talking about the episode, except the whole thing's off to a bad start. And all of a sudden, whatever Isabella claims dwelling in this mansion becomes the least of my concerns. Also, I am so goddamn happy because the last time we recorded, I had a blocked nose.
Oh yeah, you said a lot.
And every two, I was. Like, I didn't think it'd sound that bad until I heard it back. And I'm like, no, why did you let me talk?
Oh, you did great regardless. You did fab.
Of all the cabbies in Luxborn, I have to chance upon the superstitious one. Still not as bad as finding out your car's starter refuses to crank on when it was still working this morning, yes? But it's equally as frustrating when you're forced to walk the rest of the way. All because the driver got spooked. Isabella and him will get along so well.
The driver got spooked?
Yeah.
Do you mean the driver that dropped Isabella off?
Probably the guy who sounds suspiciously like the police chief and the other guy.
Oh.
Imagine, but like...
The triplets.
But apparently it's like an hour drive, right? Imagine getting 40 minutes there. Oh, hold on a minute, Emma, you're going to that scary place. Good luck. Just like throws you out and then drives away. Have fun not dying. I do get his reasons after all. I've had my fair taste of the bizarre lately. All of which might have been brought upon by that letter Isabella found here. But you think he'd at least be charitable enough to take me a little closer to the house itself, not at a distance 15 minutes away from a big foot!
Fuck.
I'm not mad. Good thing I'm not wearing anything too formal or constricting. Otherwise, that short walk would have likely put me in a bad mood, because I'm not in a fucking bad mood at all!
Right, breathe.
I'm sorry.
Breathe. Fuck.
Well, before I have to suffer in a room full of strangers tonight. Oh, the party! The party's tonight.
You're scaring me.
Sorry. So can we just have like such an adorable character design where like a pink blouse and pink hair is easily like the angriest player character we've ever seen by a country mile.
The most aesthetically pleasing characters, the most...
Violent.
Rage.
Although, this soon proves to be a problem the second the driveway comes into view and I near the entrance. Severely underdressed is a total understatement to describe how I look.
Oh, to be fair, she wears the exact same thing every day.
Yeah. Cars worth more than my own apartment and childhood home combined line the mansion's front yard. Men and women decked out in their best also flock near the entrance. Most are eager for the festivities to start, while some are simply idling about, enjoying the warm afternoon sun before it sets. But once the woman standing at the front porch speaks, their undivided attention immediately shifts to her.
Ew.
Howdy-do!
Honna.
Hannah. Presumably Mrs. I don't know why I keep saying Ms. Wright, from the confident manner she holds herself among present company. This, despite keeping a far simpler appearance than the rest of her own guests, or not having her husband beside her. A trait worthy of utmost admiration at best. At worst, she's the envy of every woman, the subject of every gossip, and Luxborn.
Welcome, welcome everyone.
And Mum said we could have been good friends? I can't even picture myself mingling with the kind of guest she has. Oh, I admit she does seem familiar now that I've seen her this close. Little Becky.
Yeah, oh, well, we know that.
Yeah.
You were the cutest little thing with glasses. Aye, we know that shit.
Memories of sitting in a vanity not mine, being dressed in clothes too fancy for my tastes. They flit briefly in my mind, until her cheerful tone rises above the buzz of our enraptured audience again.
Please, make yourselves at home.
I wish I could share her enthusiasm, really. But being surrounded by all this extravagance, for the lack of a better term, merely makes me dread how the rest of the night might go. I shouldn't have let Luke's words affect me like that. I should have just gone ahead and asked Ashton like I've planned. If he were here, then I won't have to...
Be careful with Shirley, alright?
No. The devil.
The rest of that thought dies in my mind at once. A moment of astonishment comes over me, before confusion sets in seconds later. It takes another for my body to catch up. Once it does, when I finally turn to see it for myself, it's his familiar mop of hair that catches my eyes first. And there he is, almost an arm's reach if it isn't for the guest standing between us. Ashton Frey, standing in the Ermengarde mansion's driveway, with an air too lackadaisical for someone who absolutely abhors parties of any form.
She starts like grabbing like party goers and like starts flinging them away like, get away!
My man! Or has any business here as far as I know? The picture it forms is too bizarre for me, that my mouth speaks out ahead of any coherent thought.
Ashton?
Ooh.
He swivels on his heel with an equally puzzled face. An odd expression flashes momentarily across it once he sees me, though he blinks it away before I can figure out what it is exactly.
Becca, what are you doing here?
I was invited.
Really? I had no idea you were friends with the host.
Well, it's my parents, actually. But that's beside the point. What are you doing here? You hate parties.
I still do. I'm just here on behalf of a friend.
That in itself is weird coming from him. It doesn't help that he isn't even making an effort to spare a glance my way when he answers. Instead, they're focused at some point in the crowd. His gaze darting between people walking past us until a small frown forms on his face.
That's rare. Do you have someone with you then?
Nope, just me. I won't be staying long.
Well, if that's the case, maybe you and I can...
No.
Chief?
Ashton, what's...
Unexpectedly, he places a hand on my shoulder, stopping me mid-sentence. Rude. He still has the distracted look on him, except this time his eyes are sharper. as if he's found what or who he's been searching for among the throng of partygoers there. Nearly said something
Sorry,
else.
Becca. I need to. There's something I need to check for a bit. I'll talk to you later. Do you have a ride home?
No, I had to take a cab here. My car wouldn't start this afternoon. But what about...
I told you to get that old thing checked before, didn't I? You can head back with me after this. Anyway, I gotta go. See ya. Be careful, okay?
I meet the smile he hastily throws my way with a frown of my own. What does he mean by that? But before I can ask, already he's turned his back from me and is walking away, without a single explanation whatsoever.
He's not here for the party, he's here on business.
Secret Special Police Secret Agent business. In some desperate effort I try to catch up to him, if only to know what warranted his sudden departure and his odd warning at the end.
Hey, be careful! About what exactly?
I just like the fact that, oh, I hear a phone. Just the fact, like, I love how he's trying to, like, blend in and be there. But imagine, like, everyone else is wearing, like, three-piece suits, all the fancy guy person, and, like, a pink blouse and pink, well, I think it was, like, a blue shirt or something, Rebecca, the skirt she was wearing. And a guy wearing, like, a furry parka, like, a suit jacket across with cut-off gloves, and he's like, oh, cool, I didn't know you booked My Chemical Romance for the party.
Oh my god. To be fair, he'd fit right into that category.
Only for my attempts to be interrupted by a muffled ringing from my pocket. Mum's cheerful voice greets me as soon as I answer.
Yes, I'm at the party already, Mom. Yes, I'll say hi to her if I can.
Oh.
Rebecca, I haven't even had a chance to...
She never even got to speak. Okay.
Hi, honey. Bye, Mum. The conversation itself doesn't last long.
No shit.
Just a simple hello, a reminder, a fuck off, and a goodbye. But when the call ends and I get to look up, Ashton's already nowhere in sight. With a sigh and admittedly a little disappointment, I tuck my mobile back into my pocket and head inside. Even with familiar company, however coincidental this meeting is, this is somehow shaping up to a terrible evening.
Oh wow. Third ballroom. Filled with faceless people.
Look at all these people. That's why there aren't... How are you holding those drinks? You don't have a mouth to drink them with, silly faceless demons.
Oh my god.
The party hits full swing an hour later. With the host's opening remarks given, still no sign of her husband, the poor woman, and with the guests promptly fed, the band shifts the melody to a livelier tune. Soon, laughter and the rhythmic tapping of shoes fill the room, all in accordance to the lifting strains of music. It seems fun, I admit. Fascinating at certain moments, the flurry of dancers making the music their own, almost with no care in the world. If I weren't so indisposed, I'd have joined the crowd for a song or two. There isn't a lack of invitations anyway, plenty of them in fact, with some asking more than once. It's only my stubborn refusal that prevents me from joining them. And I can. A single nod is all it'll take, and the evening would have been far enjoyable for me. But pride in my own silly hopes, the thought of being seen by one... But pride in my own silly hopes, the thought of being seen with one of them by him, curbs that, as much as I hate to admit it. Because doing so also means outright acknowledging the douche's claims. That he has to be the one to tell me that he still sends my blood boiling. I would have preferred someone more agreeable, less of an arse. It's a hard truth to swallow, especially when the very person at the centre of it makes denial difficult. Can't even spare me a minute of his attention, or a single glance at me the whole evening. Well, Zachary might have spoken more words to me.
Hello.
Bonjour! The big guy's busy covering the event to boot. But at least he manages to slip in a conversation or two between takes, or a small wave of his hand when he passes by.
Nothing less for the cinnamon roll.
Yeah.
Oh.
What's Ashton's excuse, you bastard? He's like, hey Rebecca, love me!
Oh god.
He's been flitting in and out of sight the whole time. One moment he's hanging around a small group, and another he's hovering around the string band. Sorry, bloody yawning.
It's contagious.
Just a second ago, he's wolfing down some deviled eggs by the buffet table, a glass of wine in hand.
Deviled eggs.
The next thing I know, he's gone. Bye, bitch.
Bye.
I just kind of like the fact, like, he's like, look, I'm here strictly on business.
Oh, deviled eggs.
How are you enjoying the party? With like a mouthful of that.
Oh.
If I didn't know any better, I'd say he doesn't want to be with any of his friends. Is it because his boss is here? What's the big deal about that? It's never bothered him before.
I swear, the next person who asks, I'm dancing the night away with. Ashton can go fuck himself.
You would catch his eye a lot better if you wore nicer clothes, don't you think?
Oh.
Her voice always makes me jump. Too focused on the gobshite wandering around the ballroom and my own annoyance to notice. And if she's heard any of the profanities I've mumbled, or she's taken notice of my discomfiture, she makes no comment of it. Merely greeting me with a smile when I turn my attention to her. Mrs. Hannah Wright gives off a whole different air when she's not speaking to an audience.
Oh, Hannah, how I've missed your face.
How I've missed you when you're not killing our friends.
Yeah.
It's just a bit like Rebecca, but it seems he's like, you'd catch his attention more if you... And he's like, who the fuck asked you apart? Oh, hi, Hannah. Homely, a bit too friendly for my liking. Here we go. But I guess that comes from being raised in such an environment and having to deal with pompous, snooty people. No, I suppose nothing has really changed from years ago. I remember her carrying herself in the same manner during that one and only visit. Does she remember any of it? I wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't. It's taken me a while myself. She's probably met a lot of people like little Becky throughout the years. Might have already forgotten about me and my parents.
Nope, she didn't.
People like her thrive on connections after all. She gets great Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Nevertheless, oh God, that was like the worst dad joke. I'm gonna leave. Goodbye.
Bye.
Nevertheless, I return her smile, awkward and stiff as it may be.
Didn't realize the housewarming was going to be this fancy. I would have gone with a nice dress if I knew.
Just get the fact he's like, I'm terribly sorry, I didn't realise the housewarming party to this £4 million mansion was going to be this fast. I thought we were just going to watch Netflix.
I mean, to be fair, she knew. She knew.
Oh, you're fine, dearie. It's only really the parvenu,
Bless you.
those who climb, that come to these parties all dolled up. Quite the black-haired beauty, isn't he?
It takes me a while to realise who she's talking about.
Oh.
Until Ashton walks by again, in closer proximity than any of his times he's done so far. I like the amount I'm going, Dana. Dana.
Can we just talk about Hannah's fucking expression?
You know, I like how Rebecca's like, no one else knows, and yet every person we've talked to, we know.
Oh, wow. She looked the other way.
Darling, I got you some water because you're thirsty as fuck. Still, with a look of acknowledgement our way though, even if Mrs. Wright speaks loud enough to catch the attention of anyone within earshot.
Who, Ash?
You know, you really shouldn't have turned down those offers. If I wasn't married, I'd happily go dancing with those young men. But you said a name. Ash. That's the exquisite lad you've been looking at all this time. I don't know him, and I'm the one hosting this party. That must mean you know each other. Is he your boyfriend then? Because that would explain those rejections.
Here's itchy. Oh God, here we go.
Oh, hee.
There's nothing worse than you have an itchy ear behind a headphone.
I know, I feel you.
This isn't the first time someone has made that assumption. Almost every student I've had in the past did. My co-workers more often than not assume he is. A few of my neighbours also think we're an item. Bitch, everybody thinks except you! Not that Ashton has ever reacted to those. He's been quite indifferent about it, in fact. Still, the heat of a blush creeps up my cheeks. I deny already, despite wanting it to happen so badly myself.
What? No, that's ridiculous. He isn't my boyfriend.
He's a girl.
Such a violent reaction. A simple no would have sufficed. Many here would be happy to hear it.
And I haven't been looking at him.
I do my best to summon a straight face, but before a good cheer, it easily follows.
That's right. You've been staring. Quite heatedly, in fact. Although I'm not sure if you look like you want to kiss him or kill him.
It's more the latter currently.
Just don't go murdering him on my property.
Ah.
I don't want to walk into a room and suddenly find a body there.
Oh.
she kind of like stares off into space and like her eye twitches and she's like, definitely not found any bodies in my home.
Oh god. She shook.
Oh, I was expecting that you want to invite.
I was expecting that and all, but maybe we're just going to see it from a different perspective because obviously it was behind us.
Yeah.
I just skipped dialogue.
No sooner did some shit happen, but I wasn't paying attention to her. No sooner did I find myself enjoying her chat more than I've imagined myself to. Although her attention briefly wavers at one moment, she remains a good companion. Even more once I've mentioned who my parents are, her face quickly lights up and fondness graces her face, despite the meeting from several years ago being a short one. But of course, there are some things we really can't avoid talking about.
Oh, my throat.
After all, it's one of the few things I remember her asking me the moment she spotted Little Becky in the room. Do you have a boyfriend? In retrospect, it's an odd thing to talk about as children, when there were loads we could have started with.
Yes, oh, I remember you. You were the cutest little thing with glasses. And when we met, you were having boy troubles with this lad called something with an A.
It's him?
It was Arnold. I believe I still have the clothes she gave me. Chosen also I could impress him. I admit it, my love, Arnold Schwarzenegger. And even back then, Ashton has always been denser than a rock. And that one attempt to get him to notice backfired spectacularly. Sure, he's keen, he's a detective for heaven's sake, but feelings more often than not escape him.
What was it again? Aaron, Alan, Adele, Albert, Alexander, Andrew?
Which makes this whole talk all the more embarrassing. And the more names she lists off, the more my discomfort grows until my smile turns into a grimace. What will she think of me? Here she is, married, to a man she most probably loves at that. Well, I'm stuck in the same place, yearning for the same person.
Ashton! Ash! That man is that boy! The same one. Oh, goodness me, after all these years! I can see why, though. He's quite dashing.
You don't really need to announce it to everyone within earshot, you know? Keep it down.
Oh, it's Ashton! Ashton! You there, coming to do Ashton! Ashton! She just like stops the band. Ashton! She said the word too anyway.
I'm so sorry, but it really is cute.
Ashton!
Did you know who I said was cute? Ashton! She says that, but for a short moment. A hint of pity flickers in her eyes. I take that as a chance to change the subject before anything more can be said over the matter. I haven't even figured out how I should feel about the things Luke told me. Now I'm getting dragged into a similar discussion.
So, this is a nice party, Miss Wright.
Though, to be frank, I doubt she'll be so willing to pass this up. The topic has already captured her attention.
Please, Honnor's fine.
Arnold.
We're friends of a sort, aren't we? We must be friends, seeing as I know about your little infatuation, Becky. Don't you worry, dearie. You'll have your happy ending yet.
I very much hope so.
Same.
I'm not too concerned about that, am I? That's not what I'm looking for.
That's what she's looking for.
Oh? And what makes you think that? Doesn't everybody want their happy ending?
The idea of happy endings sounds like they're just for fairy tales. And they are, sorta. I don't think you can just sit around, trapped in some tower and hope for the best. If you love them, you have to fight for it, right? You're not just going to sit there and hope that everything will just fix itself on its own. Like everything, you have to work at it.
Yes, like you've been trying to work on your relationship with... Oh no, wait, you haven't!
I was gonna say...
Hypocrisy, that's what this is! How dare I preach about something when it's exactly what I've been doing? And then... I go on act as if I'm entitled to any of it. That, by virtue of us growing up together, he must return whatever I feel for him. That he's not allowed to look at another because I'm the one who's stayed by his side the longest. When in the first place, Ashton has always been his own person. This is something I cannot force on him. I can only hold on to these, take care of it until the time comes I can confess it to him. Great. If Great if he reciprocates, but if he can't, if he won't, selfish. I've been too selfish.
Selfish.
How laughable that Luke's words still strike true up until now.
But what do I know?
I'm sure the daughter of the two greatest professors I've ever known is smart enough to know what she's talking about.
At one point, maybe I would have easily agreed to that. Sorry. However, the past weeks have also seen changes in the way I view things. That was a thing there that says has seen. I would say have instead of has. As nice as these things sound, it turns out whatever I previously know may not even be true for other people. Or for myself. It's sobering and almost funny how things I might have said with much certainty before now have doubts muddying each of them. But there will be time to mull about these later, because when a hush suddenly descends in the room, a whole different issue rears.
Oh, she's gonna lose her shit!
Especially when fucking Luke strides into the now quiet ballroom, fashionably late and oozing with the same pompous meow that says he always carries around with him. The prick!
Good evening, ladies and gents. Enjoying the party?
No!
I hope I'm not too late in welcoming you all to the Wright mansion.
You're very late!
Oh.
Before long, Hannah leaves my side to join him when it doesn't take a genius to piece it all together.
Welcome one and all to our humble abode. Tonight, if you have yet to find yourself in your roles, you are our ladies and lords of the court of your king and queen. If you would excuse my presumptuousness.
I do not.
So, enjoy the feast that has been laid out for your senses as we only allowed the best to be served. Enjoy the rest of your night, everyone.
His attitude, the manner he carries himself around people, his unfamiliarity with that part of the city. Of fucking course. I should have known. Although I'm partly at fault here. Tabloids and the gossip columns have never really been my thing. I should have also expected that whatever Luke fucking Wright is, some sort of drama will sure follow.
Damn right.
He seems the kind of person who revels in it. Figures it'll find him on its own, even when he's not asking for it.
Oh, and here we are.
And there's Johann's just like, fuck you.
Drama.
It happens amidst a round of applause and hoots. The people lagging behind the crowd they've gathered does not catch on, until the cheers turn to several scandalised gasps.
I am pregnant with your little bastard. You promised me you'll take responsibility. God damn it, Luke. I finally got you to talk to me after months of silence, and you do this to me.
Do you think it's the same voice actress as Rose? I have a feeling.
I think so.
I have a feeling it's the same voice
They
actress.
definitely
as
have
Rose.
multiple roles.
They do, yeah.
What do you mean you're pregnant with? Luke, is this true?
Lies and slander, woman! Security! Johans, take her out of here before she makes an even bigger fool of herself!
No, you do not do this to me.
I could be wrong though. Who knows?
I was so ready to leave my stupid oaf of a husband. I told you to leave that damn wife of yours. Look at her. Does she look like she wants a baby? Does she look like she could take care of a baby?
I'll have you know I'm quite capable of taking care of a baby.
Baby!
Channeling in our Austin Powers.
I was gonna
Bye. Yeah!
Oh, wow.
The commotion doesn't go further, despite the drunk woman appearing like she has plenty more venom to spill. In a little while, security shows up, which means Johans, because he only hires one fucking security guard, you cheap bastard, escorting her out. Apparently, she's the chief inspector's wife, too. As if this whole thing can't get any more fucked up than it already is. It's like fucking Cluedo in here. What a mess. But the damage has been done, and beyond the repercussions this will bring, I'm more worried about Hannah, or Hannah. Maybe Luke too, in part. I've seen the man that hides behind his self-importance, and it's someone who cares for the person who stands behind him. No matter how questionable that is now. After all, no anger is worse than that of a scorned woman. He's lucky, though, that he's not to be the object of it anytime soon. That his wife loves him enough not to believe any of the woman's drunken prattles.
Take that trollop out of here immediately!
Ooh.
And see to it that she isn't allowed here or anywhere we hold any authority in Luxbourne.
Hannah's outrage is a strange sight to witness. After all those smiles and the grace she's carried herself through the entirety of the party. Like this, her eyes burning bright with fury. I don't doubt she can do much more. Ruin the scandalous woman if need be. Shaming her is already an act of mercy, generous enough coming from her.
Everyone, please go back to enjoying the party. Don't let that mess of a woman ruin your night.
You heard her! Strike up the band, maestro, and let us dance like fireflies in the night!
Yeah, when she turns to look, eyes gleaming with hope, something feels off. Something I can't quite place. Hers is not the face of a person who so ardently loves. There's a lack of tenderness in it, an absence of warmth and sincere affection. It's the kind that constricts, suffocates.
Well, that was a mess, wasn't it? And you handled it magnificently.
It happens. We are very important people, are we not?
I think we just saw the exact moment we lost her.
Aye.
No one seems to have noticed it, however, and at their command, music resumes. There's a brief lull, a reluctant pause before the place comes astir again, but shortly, the buzz returns to the room. Dancers have once again taken to the floor and their guests' excited chatter begins anew. Maybe it's just my imagination?
Milady, would you like to dance?
With pleasure, my prince.
The unsettling feeling in my stomach remains, however. Even as the strained atmosphere dissolves into merriment. Even as I watch the couple lose themselves in the moment, or the people around them join in with it. It grips me all the more when, once I leave the hall, the last glimpse I catch of Hannah is her smile. A thin, unearthly one spreading across her soft features. The porter closes the door behind me with a soft click, but all I hear from it are the chilling whispers. Those that seem to echo along with another familiar grin in mind.
We really did lose her in this moment. Oh, great.
You know, you can really, it's funny seeing, because, I don't know why, but because it's not got the sun directly shining on it, it's crazy just how much sinister, like, it seems to almost change, the colour of the building seems to change itself with the lights not hitting it.
Yeah, that's true.
The brush of fresh air against my cheeks does little to dampen the nervous edge in my bones. Away from the rush of the party, I just feel bone tired. It's late. I've accomplished nothing of what I've came here for, and Ashton's nowhere to be found. I'm not sure what pisses me off more. That he ignored me the whole evening and might have just left without saying anything, or knowing that he obviously has some other motive for being here. Can't he at least trust his own friends for that?
He didn't have to hide it from me.
True. He's not even answering his phone. That man has always been difficult to contact when he's out. But you'd think he'd at least have the decency to keep the lines open if he's going to wander off on a party. Wouldn't he happen to attend with his friends at that? I let the call ring for 9 more times before cutting it off. No use trying to find someone who refuses to be found. I can get home on my own. I don't need him. He can just...
Becca, where'd you go off to?
Oh.
What in tarnation?
Oh,
Oh, is that... No, there's... Oh, what, no got a voice line?
I'll make sure to show that to the Discord.
If you're done here, let's go. Meh.
Talk of the devil.
My mistake. The second his voice cuts through the crisp night air is that I've allowed my annoyance to get the better of me. Fuming, patience forgotten, I whirl around and march towards him. One accusation after another piles up at the tip of my tongue, ready to be hurled at any moment. There's no hesitation holding me back when I fling it at him. The straight face he keeps as I do so doesn't help temper my anger either.
Oh, here we go.
It only makes me want to slap some sense into him.
Shouldn't I be the one asking you that?
Becca, I've been waiting here the whole time since that mess in the hall. I told you I hate parties like...
And before that, where have you been the entire evening?
Right then and there, I might have forgiven him if he'd shown some ounce of remorse for leaving me like that. Maybe he could have looked away and given me a sign that my assumptions might be right. He doesn't even need to put them into words. A simple gesture of confirmation is all I need. Rather, what I get is the same impassive look. He does that whenever he can't disclose anything. He does that whenever he's lying. In the face of it, amidst the thick tension, a frustrated huff is the only thing I can summon.
Be that way. Fine. Suit yourself.
No more words. After everything I've seen and heard tonight, I'm already too exhausted for those. So without speaking any further, I simply walk past him and stomp over his car. Over to his car. Like she climbed to the top of
His car. You've pissed me off!
It's like, Becca, are you okay? I'm fine, how are you?
Fuck Shirley!
Although before I can pull open the door, he calls out, one hand outstretched, a gentle weight on my shoulders.
Wait, Becca.
Oh?
And then she headbutts. He pauses, his brows furrowing and lips curving into a slight frown. I can almost see the gears turning in his head while he tries to piece together everything he wants to say. Before, perhaps, I might have waited patiently for those. He's not a man fond of using words to express himself. More often than not, any gesture of honesty will only come out blunt and coarse when forced. But today, for one reason or another, I simply can't summon that forbearance.
Ashton, if you're just going to waste my time again...
Becca, listen. I don't know how else...
That much is obvious. Why don't you just take the whole bloody night? Go on. I can wait until next year. Better yet, why don't you just keep it all to yourself like you always do? It's not like...
Rebecca, will you hear me out first?
Silence, as I can offer him, but whether I'll believe what he's about to say is still up for debate. A very long debate.
I honestly don't know how else to put this. I'm aware your parents have some kind of history with Hannah Wright, and somehow you're friends with her. But you should stay away from these people for now, especially the husband.
Who? Luke?
His expression deepens into a scowl at the mention of the name, but whatever opinion he has, he doesn't immediately voice. Still, something about it has greatly displeased him, evident in the stiff note his tone assumes.
If he finds out that we've been spending time with him... Oh, mess.
Yeah, he's bad news.
I knew shit.
It's my turn to frown this time. What does he mean by that? What do you mean, asshole? Oh, if you saved it first.
Oh shit, that's right. You saved my life.
My life.
I'll save it over this file because we are running out of bookmarks, and it's best if I try to save as many of them as I can. But yeah, what?
Decisions.
Ah.
What does he have to do with this? Or care to explain your reasons?
And if we're wanting to increase our relationship with Ash. It has went down a tad.
Oh, because we sided away Isabella and it was like, come on, man.
Yeah. If he says, what does he have to do with this, then it'll obviously pick up that with like...
Well, we seem attached to him some way.
But if we say, care to explain your reasons, we're not necessarily vocalising that we've...
No, it's basically saying, what do you mean?
Yeah. So do you think we should go for care to explain your reasons?
I'd say so.
Care to explain your reasons?
Let's check a relationship. It went back up. Now that's what we're looking for.
Right, before you're like, because that's us asking without prying.
Yeah.
If we're like, what has he done? That's making you an accessory.
Yeah.
I've not meant for it to sound as harsh as it does, but anger and frustration have never been a good match in me, particularly nights like this. Don't we know it? My guy looks as a bit of shit himself.
Aye. It looks like he's already shat bricks, let's be fair.
It's not surprising when Ashton jerks back, as if I've struck him. For a fleeting moment, something akin to hurt that darts across his features, his eyes narrowing and hands closing in tightly into a fist at his sides. Then swiftly he glances away and shifts his focus on the line of trees nearby, like an answer can be gleamed from the dark expanse.
I'm really sorry, Becca.
What is it for? For the party? The vague answers he continues to give? Does it include all those times before this? The years worth of it? I don't doubt his sincerity. However, at the moment, the forgiveness he's asking for isn't something I'm all too willing to hand, furious as I am. As frankly, I wonder how I can keep myself from raising my voice at him.
We'll talk about this tomorrow. And you better have a proper answer for me by then.
There's a brief hesitation before I step away. A short moment of wanting to say more, but waiting if he has anything to add. He's only silent, eyes still trained at a distance. It's the last glimpse I see of him before I climb inside his car. If the door slams closed with the same force as the anger I'm holding, it sounds merely vanishes into the night, unnoticed. He follows soon after, and shortly we're on our way back to the city. Man, an hour-long drive in like awkward silence. Yet, even with the city's bright lights welcoming us, the dense, sombre air from the mansion still lingers.
Back home.
You might read some, hon. I feel like bad. I feel like I've done it way too long. I'm sorry.
To be fair, I think you've done amazing, and I'm scared in case I sound awful. I guess with all the laughing and the screaming and shouting, I guess like my voice is somewhat exercised, so we'll give this a go. Even though we've only got like about 10 more minutes left.
I'm sorry. I think I was just too overexcited because I'm not like. The border's almost at the highest by the top of the summer.
Don't worry, darling. I like that a lot. But yeah, I'll go ahead. The moon is almost at its highest by the time we reach Salem Well. Even after our respective heads have cooled off, the atmosphere within the car remains rife with unspoken tension.
Ash farted and it made it really awkward.
Yes. This isn't a problem so easily fixed with a few handshakes. Quite frankly, I don't know what will.
Febreze.
Shit. Oh, wow.
Oh. I'm sorry, continue.
Ashton, himself has no idea what to do when he alights and dawdles awkwardly in the middle of the car park, unsure. It almost seems like he's having an internal debate, whether he should say goodbye or mutter another apology. I could have driven him away, purely out of the spite of the second I've gotten off, just like scare him away.
He just runs down screaming.
Oh. Still, old habits die hard.
Or she just like whaps him with a book. It's like, Rebecca, I know I have to. Fuck off!
It's late, and Ashton's flat is on the other side of the city. Irritation might still rear its head every time I look at him right now, but I'm not too cruel to put him up on another long drive. Especially when he still appears as if he hasn't gotten any rest.
You can borrow the couch.
Inviting him in.
I throw the keys to my flat his way before a protest forms on his lips.
Because it hits him in the mouth.
Yeah. Although he catches it with ease, he eyes it with a wary expression and shoots a puzzled glance my way.
You haven't been forgiven. We're still going to have that talk, believe me. But I'm not about to send you out on another drive looking like that. It's late. Go get some rest.
We're setting aside a lot of loose ends like this, but he appears to have accepted that reason, at least in the meantime. He does give me another questioning glance when I shove past him, pulling my mobile in the process.
Where are you going? I thought...
You go ahead upstairs. I need to contact Professor Andrew.
Andrew? Why would you... Oh, no. Please. Is this that thing Isabella said this morning? Again? I already gave her my word, Becca. I'll look into this BRC crap. No need to drag the old guy into it.
Of course, he's still skeptical. It makes me wonder if he's even seeing anything at all. Figures this curse will stay away from the scoffer. But this is another loose end tonight that I can't just leave alone, Ashton's beliefs notwithstanding. It just so happens that it's one I can delve into using means other than taking a look at the mansion itself.
Ashton, do you really think I still give a shite after that stunt you pulled tonight?
No, but this is...
Sit your ass down!
I've spent so many years with him to know this is about to turn into another argument. Before he can finish it, I cut him off with a firm raise of my hand.
Look, I don't care. There are weird things happening around here. And yes, it's Isabella's brand of weird. Ghostly voices, strange sounds, and a bloody woman sitting at the back of my car.
My car!
You don't have to believe me. And I no longer have the patience to convince you, so just leave me be, Ashton.
He doesn't push it, growing quiet instead, although. I know he has a whole case of it prepared inside his head. But there's a reluctant shift in his movement when he steps away from our conversation. Short of climbing the stairs, he stops, turns to face me with an expression almost too... conflicted?
Are you really sure?
What?
That there was something? That you've been, seeing things?
Yes, I'm very, very certain. Now go!
The door!
And you better not break anything in there. The last time I let you stay over, it was that statuette Belle gave me. You haven't even replaced that one.
I'm not gonna...
The last of my reprimand goes both unheard and unanswered as he disappears behind the stairs. If things aren't strained, he might have a quip or two about that, followed by a light banter. Instead, for a long moment, I am left staring after him. There's something in the way he asked it that nags. Coupled with his expression, the whole exchange just feels unsettling. Oh, Professor Andrew. One that doesn't fade, even as I gather my thoughts and shift my focus on another. Even as I dial Professor Andrew's number. This is the voice actor for this guy liked my post on Twitter.
Huh? Really?
Yeah!
Oh, no way!
He did. And that's when it clicks. During the long wait for the professor, one stray thought emerges from the unease. Ashton is not intended for his question to be a jibe. It's concern. For what though? For my well-being? The letter's curse? The woman I mentioned?
Man, he was letting this phone ring on for a while.
Aye. The answer for those will have to wait, however. Finally, the call connects and Professor Andrew's voice echoes from the receiver.
Professor Andrew?
Rebecca? It's late.
Yeah, but just thanks again, man, for liking the Twitter.
Yeah.
What can I do for you?
I know, I'm sorry, but this is a bit urgent.
After all, this is a more pressing matter. Our lives might be at stake, and we're still in the dark.
Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you to do me a favor.
Oh. October 30.
Happy Halloween Eve.
I
What?
don't know what the fuck that was, but there you go.
This is the first time I've actually seen Ashton kind of starting to believe in the hoo-ha.
Aye. I think he must be seeing things and all, but obviously I feel like he's the strongest mind-wise
Yeah,
out
he's
of
like-
everyone.
I think he's the staunchest to be like, I'm just tired, I've been overworked, I'm just seeing scary bitches who are pale,
He's good at repressing that shit.
supernatural horrors.
Which I can only assume anyway.
Yeah, whereas Isabella was immediately like, ghosts!
Aye.
Looking forward to see what Professor Andrew Clark has to say.
Definitely. Because I feel like we're coming up to the end of Becca's chapter.
It could be.
Yes. So I'm really looking forward to
You'll
that.
have to find out the next episode of the letter.
Nah, I can't wait.
But not, thank you for having me again, Daddy.
You're always welcome, darling.
And see you guys in the next one. It's Don't Let Your Memes Be Dreams for me.
Thank you so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one. Roll the outro! Whoa!